Hey everyone, this is Jean-Louis from Canva Dynamics, and today in this video, we're going to be talking about validating timestamps to see if there's daylight savings applied to it or not. With the daylight savings rules, we'll be using it from America to say when does it start and when does it end. For this year, we know that it starts on the 13th of March and it ends on the 6th of November. But if we were to dig further into it, there is a general rule where it actually starts on the second Sunday in March and it ends on the first Sunday in November. So this is a better rule to work with compared to what we know for this year, so we can use it for the next years to come. That's great. Now, what do we do with that logic? We put it into Delusion, we get it to work for us. So the date that I have over here is the 30th of January, 2022. And on the back of my mind, I know that this doesn't have daylight savings applied to it because it's in January. But we want to get the script to understand that. So let's see how this works. So for this case, I've passed it in as a string in a database format, which is year, month, day. And I'm going to convert this into a deluge specific date stamp with the toDate function. So if I were to print this out, this would actually show what we are much more accustomed to seeing in Deluge, which is 30th of January, 2022. This is great. If we wanted to validate this a little bit further, what we can do is we can add a couple of days into it, for this case 15, and we get the 14th of February, 2022. This validates the fact that we've done our conversion correctly because all other functions are actually working for this variable. So that's a good checkpoint for us to think about. Now, what we're going to do over here is that we're going to extract the year from the system timestamp, and we're going to say print out 2022 and append March the 1st as a string and reconvert that into a date. So if that's the case, what I would expect to see is 1st of March, 2022 in a human readable format, which is great. And use what works. If we know that works, then use it as part of the NDST by adding 8 extra months to push this into November. So for that case, if I were to print both start DST and end DST, I get the 1st of March and I get the 1st of November. Happy days for us right now, but we're not even close to the finish line. So what we're going to do is that we're going to get start DST and end DST, and we're going to apply the rules that we saw in Google onto the script. So for start DST, we know that we have the 1st of March. And what we want to do is that we want to kick the 1st of March to the 6th of March and add 1 extra week to get the second calendar Sunday of the month. And for November, we would kind of want to do the same, except we don't add 1 extra week. So we take the 1st of March, we use the function called next weekday to parse in the word Sunday, meaning that it would actually kick this to the following Sunday, which is going to get us the 6th of March. And then we add 1 extra week to the date. So we get the 13th of March. So for that case, if I were to print start DST, let's check the function. That's going to get us our starting point. Great. Now calculating the endpoint is easier because we don't need to go through the add week of 1. So what we can do is that we can get the 1st of November is what we know, and we just push it to the next Sunday, and let's print both of them out to see what we get. The 13th of March and the 6th of November, which is fantastic because that matches with what we have this year. If you wanted to test this for next year as well, what we can do is that we can add 1 extra year up here as part of a normal mathematical equation. And then we can see for next year, it's going to be the 12th of March, 2023 and the 5th of November, 2023. These will be Sundays themselves as well. So that's great. Coming back to this year, let's run an if statement very quickly, which I have prepared over here to say, if the date does fall in between of the range of March and November, then print out DST, which means to say it could be used as a flag saying, yeah, it has daylight savings applied to it. Otherwise, there's no daylight savings applied to it. And let's run this whole thing and see what this tells us. This says that January does not have daylight savings applied to it, which is great. So now let's replace that with another day now variable, which is in April instead of January. If we were to print this out again, what we get is daylight savings applied to it. Great. So if we pass any dates into this small little function that we just wrote, then we kind of have a flag to say if it does have daylight savings applied to it or not. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you in the cases where you need to validate timestamps and to find out if it's got daylight savings or not. If you like this sort of content, please feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you want to speak to us, please visit our website, canvadynamics.com, and let's schedule a call to talk everything and anything about Zoho and Deluge. Thanks very much for checking out this video. I'll see you in the next one.